What if the key to unlocking your greatest potential lies not in your future, but in your past? In a world that is always pushing us to look ahead, to chase the next big thing, it's easy to forget the ancient truths that have been passed down through generations. In the heart of Africa, ancient practices hold secrets that could transform the way you see the world and yourself. These aren't just old rituals or stories. They are living wisdom that has shaped the lives of millions and continues to influence the world today. But what does ancestral wisdom really mean? How can it help us in a world so disconnected from its roots? A world that seems increasingly focused on progress and technology, leaving little room for the teachings of the past. From the dense forests of the Congo to the vast plains of the Sahara, African ancestors have passed down knowledge that isn't just about surviving. It's about thriving in harmony with the world around us. These are the beliefs, rituals, and practices that have carried families, communities, and entire nations through centuries of change. How do these ancient teachings continue to influence modern life? Can they still guide us today in ways that we may have overlooked or misunderstood? This video will take you on a journey to uncover the powerful role African ancestors have played, not only in shaping African cultures, but also in influencing modern spirituality, daily practices, and even how we view success, community, and the environment today. As we explore the spiritual beliefs and practices passed down through generations, we'll see how these ancient systems of thought and behavior continue to offer profound insights into everything from personal development and healing to how we connect with each other and the earth itself. The wisdom of Africa's ancestors isn't something locked away in the past. It's a living force waiting to be rediscovered and applied in our lives today. Ancestral veneration is a central concept in many African cultures, deeply rooted in the belief that the spirits of ancestors continue to guide, protect, and influence the lives of their descendants. In various African societies, the bond between the living and the dead is not seen as a separation, but rather as a continuous relationship where the wisdom of the past remains actively involved in the present. The belief is that the ancestors, as guardians of the community, continue to provide counsel, healing, and protection to their families, ensuring that they live in harmony with the spiritual and natural worlds. This reverence is not simply an act of respect for those who have passed, but a vital connection that shapes the living's actions, decisions, and daily practices. In African cultures, ancestors are not only honored in memory, but are seen as powerful, active forces that influence the world of the living. Their spirits are believed to reside in the homes, the land, and the bodies of the living, providing guidance and helping to maintain a sense of balance in the community. Ancestral veneration often takes the form of rituals, offerings, and ceremonies, where the living invite the ancestors' spirits to join in celebrations, family gatherings, or times of need. This ritualistic honoring is meant to strengthen the link between generations, ensuring that the wisdom and protection of the ancestors remain accessible and relevant to the living. In many cases, ancestors are seen as intermediaries between the living and the divine, offering a bridge to higher spiritual knowledge and enlightenment. Across different African cultures, the practice of ancestor reverence is not only common, but central to the spiritual life. In the Yoruba tradition, for instance, ancestors are venerated through the concept of Egungun, a powerful ritual in which the spirits of the ancestors are believed to temporarily inhabit the bodies of living participants, communicating divine wisdom and guidance. In the Zulu culture, ancestor veneration takes on the form of ukubuyisa, or the calling of ancestral spirits, often through divination practices that enable the living to consult their ancestors for advice or healing. The Okan people too believe in the active participation of the ancestors, who are seen as protectors of the family and community. The Dogon people, known for their profound cosmological knowledge, view their ancestors as divine beings who maintain cosmic balance, offering spiritual insight and guidance to the living. Despite the unique practices and specificities within each culture, there is a common thread that runs through all of these traditions: the deep reverence for ancestors as protectors, advisors, and spiritual guides. The acknowledgement of ancestors as active participants in the lives of the living underpins the belief that life is a continuous cycle, with the past, present, and future interconnected. Ancestral reverence is not merely a passive practice of remembering. It is an active, ongoing exchange that shapes how individuals relate to the world, make decisions, and find meaning in their lives. The power and influence of this ancestral wisdom are far-reaching, extending beyond ceremonial practices and spiritual beliefs. In many African societies, ancestors are seen as a direct source of guidance and influence over the decisions of individuals and communities. Whether it is through dreams, divination, or direct consultation with spiritual leaders, the wisdom of the ancestors is called upon in times of crisis or celebration. The guidance of ancestors is believed to be a powerful force, able to heal spiritual, emotional, and physical ailments, as well as provide clarity in difficult situations. Ancestors can be invoked for blessings, protection, and success, with many individuals relying on their spiritual presence to help them navigate the challenges of daily life. Ancestral wisdom is not just about memory, but about actively living in accordance with the values and teachings passed down through generations. The ancestors are believed to impart knowledge about the right way to live, often reinforcing the importance of balance, harmony, and respect for the natural world. This wisdom is seen as a guiding force in personal development, helping individuals to make choices that align with the greater good of the community. It teaches the importance of justice, family, respect for elders, and living in accordance with divine and natural laws. In this way, the influence of ancestors extends into practical, everyday actions, helping shape everything from personal relationships to community dynamics, work ethics, and societal structures. The concept of ancestral guidance and protection in African traditions offers an understanding of wisdom that is not just theoretical, but experiential and rooted in lived reality. It shapes how individuals navigate their roles in the world, how they seek healing, and how they build communities that honor both the past and the future. The ancestors, through their wisdom and continued influence, remain a powerful force, actively shaping the lives of their descendants, helping them navigate the complexities of modern life while remaining connected to their roots. Rituals and ceremonies are an essential part of honoring ancestors in many African cultures. They act as a direct channel between the physical and spiritual realms, allowing the living to communicate with their forebears. Across Africa, different cultures have developed unique yet similar ceremonial practices that remain central to the preservation of ancestral wisdom. The Yoruba people, for example, celebrate the Egungun festival, where masked dancers embody the spirits of the ancestors. During this event, ancestors are believed to temporarily inhabit the bodies of the dancers, communicating divine guidance and blessings. This ritual serves not only to honor the ancestors, but to renew the spiritual connection between generations. In the Akan culture, one of the most important rituals is the practice of libation, in which water, alcohol, or other sacred liquids are poured onto the ground while invoking the ancestors. This act of pouring symbolizes the offering of respect, recognition, and gratitude to those who came before. Libation is performed regularly, especially in moments of decision-making or during times of personal or community crisis, to seek wisdom and guidance. Similar practices are also found in other African cultures, such as the Zulus' Ukubuyisa, calling the ancestors, where divination is used to communicate directly with the spirits to obtain clarity and direction. These rituals are rich in symbolism, with every element having a profound meaning. Sacred objects like masks, beads, and staffs are used in ceremonies to represent the spiritual presence of the ancestors. For instance, In the Yoruba Egungun ritual, the costumes and masks worn by the dancers symbolize the ancestral spirits that they embody. The colors, patterns, and materials used in the garments are often sacred, with each item carrying a specific spiritual meaning. Chants and songs are another key component of these rituals, often invoking the ancestors by name and calling on them for guidance and blessings. The rhythm of the drums, the call and the response singing, and the dances create a powerful spiritual atmosphere that connects the living with the ancestors. These acts of remembrance are not only symbolic but also carry the weight of centuries of cultural continuity, helping the participants feel a deeper sense of belonging. Rituals also serve as a vital means of fostering community cohesion. They are collective events where individuals come together to share in the common goal of honoring the ancestors. This unity is essential in maintaining the social fabric of African societies, as these practices reinforce the values of solidarity, respect, and communal support. The rituals provide a space where wisdom is shared across generations, and where young people are taught the importance of their heritage. Elders play a key role in these ceremonies, passing down stories, teachings, and customs that have been preserved over generations. Through these communal activities, the younger generations come to understand the profound importance of ancestral wisdom and its application to modern life. On a personal level, these rituals also serve as a form of spiritual empowerment. Through participating in these ceremonies, individuals can connect with the wisdom of their ancestors and receive guidance for their personal and collective challenges. Whether seeking blessings for success, healing from illness, or strength in times of hardship, these rituals provide a space for individuals to call upon the energy of their ancestors. One powerful example of this can be seen in how communities use rituals to help heal from trauma. After major crises or collective trauma, such as wars or natural disasters, communities often turn to ancestral rituals for healing. By invoking the ancestors through prayer, dance, and offerings, individuals can find peace and clarity, re-establishing their connection to their cultural roots and reclaiming a sense of agency. In addition to healing, these rituals offer spiritual guidance, helping individuals to navigate difficult decisions and challenges. Whether through the consultation of diviners, the performance of rites to bring good fortune, or simply seeking protection for the family, ancestral wisdom is seen as an active guiding force that continues to shape the living. The power of these rituals lies not only in their historical significance, but in their ability to provide a sense of direction and comfort in the present. For many, these ceremonies are a means of reaffirming their spiritual identity and reinforcing their connection to the world beyond. Through these practices, African cultures maintain a strong spiritual connection with their ancestors, ensuring that their wisdom continues to guide and empower individuals and communities alike. Rituals are not just about remembering the past. They are about actively engaging with it, bringing the knowledge and energy of the ancestors into the present to shape a better future. In many African cultures, the daily practices that shape the rhythms of life are deeply rooted in ancestral wisdom. From the foods people eat to the music they create, every aspect of daily life reflects teachings passed down through generations. African culinary traditions, for example, are not just about sustenance. They are steeped in rituals and cultural symbolism. The preparation of food, the selection of ingredients, and the way meals are shared all have deeper meanings that connect individuals to their ancestors. Traditional dishes such as jollof rice in West Africa or boni chow in South Africa are not only culinary staples. They are cultural symbols that link people to their past, telling the stories of migration, survival, and adaptation. By preparing these dishes, people not only nourish their bodies but also honor their heritage. Similarly, music and dance in African cultures serve as vital links to the past, allowing communities to celebrate their history, honor their ancestors, and pass down wisdom. Drums, flutes, and other instruments are more than just tools of entertainment. They are sacred instruments used to communicate with the spiritual world. The rhythms and melodies played in ceremonies or gatherings are not only for joy or celebration, but are also integral to rituals that invoke ancestral spirits. Dance, often performed in vibrant communal settings, carries the stories and teachings of generations, allowing younger members of the community to connect with their roots. These practices offer an immersive experience of ancestral teachings, helping each generation feel the continuity of their lineage. Storytelling is another powerful medium through which ancestral wisdom is passed on. In many African societies, oral tradition is a cornerstone of culture. Elders recount the history of the family, community, and the larger world through stories, fables, and parables. These stories are more than just entertainment. They serve as a form of education, teaching the younger generation important life lessons, moral values, and survival strategies. The lessons embedded in these stories are often laced with wisdom about courage, patience, respect, and the interconnectedness of all life. By listening to these tales, individuals learn about their responsibilities to their community, to nature, and to their ancestors. Beyond food, music, and storytelling, ancestral teachings also influence the values that govern social harmony and unity. One of the most profound legacies of ancestral wisdom is the emphasis on community and respect for elders. In many African cultures, the family is seen as an extended network of relationships that go beyond the nuclear family unit. The wisdom of the elders is revered, and their role in the community is seen as sacred. Elders are considered the living embodiment of ancestral knowledge, carrying with them not only the stories of the past, but the wisdom of the ages. Respecting elders, seeking their counsel, and honoring their experience is ingrained in the social fabric of many African societies. This respect for elders is not just about tradition. It is about recognizing that the wisdom passed down from generation to generation is crucial for maintaining balance and harmony in society. Furthermore, the value of collective responsibility is deeply embedded in ancestral teachings. In many African cultures, individual success is not viewed as separate from the well-being of the community. The idea of Ubuntu, a concept popularized in Southern Africa, emphasizes the interconnectedness of all people. I am because we are is its central tenet, reflecting the belief that one's life and success are bound up in the welfare of others. This principle underscores the idea that the health of a community is paramount, and individuals have a responsibility to contribute to the collective good. This communal spirit, passed down from ancestors, remains alive today in many African communities, where cooperation, mutual support, and service to others are seen as the highest forms of living. Ancestral wisdom continues to influence modern African communities in profound ways, including in the realms of personal growth, mental health, and spiritual development. In contemporary Africa, many individuals and leaders continue to draw on the teachings of their ancestors to navigate the complexities of modern life. The wisdom of ancestors is sought in times of personal challenge, and people often turn to spiritual leaders, healers, or community elders for guidance and healing. This practice of seeking wisdom from the past is not seen as antiquated or irrelevant, but as a vital resource that helps individuals grow spiritually and emotionally. In business, politics, and leadership, many African leaders also invoke ancestral wisdom to guide their decisions. For example, the importance of wisdom, integrity, and service to the community continues to shape the leadership styles of many modern African politicians and entrepreneurs. The values of fairness, justice, and collective responsibility, often derived from ancestral teachings, are integral to their approach to leadership. These principles are seen not just as cultural norms, but as spiritual imperatives that can guide individuals towards success and fulfillment, not only for themselves but for their communities as a whole. Ancestral wisdom, therefore, is not just a relic of the past, it is a living, breathing force that continues to shape the present. Whether in the way people nourish their bodies, the way they relate to each other, or the way they seek guidance and healing, African ancestors remain active participants in the everyday lives of their descendants. Through their teachings, people continue to grow spiritually, maintain harmony within their communities, and honor the deep connection between the past and the present. Indigenous African spiritual beliefs continue to play a significant role in contemporary African religions, often influencing and blending with global religious traditions such as Christianity and Islam. This syncretism, which has occurred over centuries, illustrates how African spirituality has adapted and survived, influencing modern practices in profound ways. For example, in many African communities, Christianity and Islam are practiced alongside or in conjunction with traditional African beliefs, creating a fusion of religious practices. In parts of West Africa, the Yoruba religion has been incorporated into Christian practices through the veneration of saints and the use of symbolic rituals that are reminiscent of ancestral worship. Similarly, in certain areas of North Africa, Islamic practices are interwoven with pre-Islamic spiritual traditions, with rituals such as seeking the guidance of ancestors through dreams, offerings, and consultations with spiritual leaders. This blending of indigenous African practices with global religions highlights the resilience of African spirituality, adapting to external influences while maintaining core principles. The syncretic blending is not just about religious coexistence. It often involves the integration of spiritual and ritual practices, with the wisdom of ancestors remaining a vital part of the spiritual experience. In contemporary African Christianity, for example, many believers continue to invoke ancestors during church services, believing that these ancestors can intercede with God on their behalf. This integration of ancestral reverence within the context of modern religions demonstrates the enduring power of African spiritual traditions. It shows that ancestral wisdom is not just a relic of the past, but a living, evolving force that shapes religious identity and practice in the present day. Modern African spiritual practices also heavily rely on the wisdom and rituals of ancestors, particularly when it comes to healing, protection, and divination. Traditional healers, often referred to as herbalists or spiritual doctors, continue to play an essential role in many African communities, offering remedies and advice that draw directly from ancestral knowledge. These healers use plants, herbs, and spiritual rituals passed down through generations to treat physical and spiritual ailments. In addition to herbal remedies, many healers perform rituals aimed at appeasing spirits, seeking protection from evil forces, and ensuring prosperity for families and communities. Ancestors are often invoked during these practices to provide guidance, protection, and healing power. In urbanized settings where traditional healing practices might seem out of place, many people still consult traditional healers alongside medical doctors, combining modern and ancestral methods in an effort to maintain spiritual and physical well-being. One powerful example of ancestral influence is the role of divination in African spiritual practices. In many African cultures, divination systems like the Yoruba Ifa or the Akanakom are used to communicate with the ancestors and seek their guidance. In urban areas across Africa, people often turn to diviners when faced with difficult decisions or challenges, seeking answers and clarity through ancestral wisdom. This reliance on the ancestral connection for guidance remains a cornerstone of African spirituality, regardless of the urbanization and modernization of many African cities. The ongoing practice of ancestor worship, whether through ritual sacrifices, offerings, or daily prayers, remains integral to the lives of millions of people, offering a spiritual anchor amid the complexities of modern life. African spirituality's influence is also growing in the global diaspora as many people of African descent reconnect with their ancestral roots. Afrocentric movements have gained momentum as younger generations seek to reclaim their cultural and spiritual heritage. These movements emphasize the importance of African spiritual practices and the reverence for ancestors, encouraging individuals to explore their identity and cultural roots through the lens of spirituality. In cities across the world, from New York to London to Johannesburg, African spirituality is becoming a vibrant force in contemporary life. individuals are seeking spiritual fulfillment through the practice of ancestral rituals, whether through the adoption of African-centered religious practices or the incorporation of African spiritual principles into their everyday lives. This global resurgence of African spirituality is not just a cultural trend, it is a return to the deep well of wisdom that has guided generations. Whether through the practice of ritual, the pursuit of ancestral knowledge, or the embrace of Afrocentric philosophies, the younger generation is rediscovering the powerful influence of their ancestors. For many, this reconnection is not just about spiritual healing. It is a means of reclaiming their identity and empowering themselves to navigate a complex world while staying grounded in their cultural and spiritual heritage. This movement is contributing to the growing recognition of the value of African spirituality, not just within Africa, but across the world, as ancestral wisdom continues to provide guidance and strength to people in both Africa and the diaspora. In today's fast-paced, technology-driven world, many individuals are rediscovering the importance of reconnecting with their roots to counterbalance the overwhelming pressures of modern life. The constant hustle, the endless distractions of social media, and the detachment from nature have left many feeling disconnected and spiritually ungrounded. In response, there is a growing movement to return to the ancient wisdom of our ancestors as a way to find peace, clarity, and meaning. People are seeking to reconnect with practices that have endured for centuries: rituals, storytelling, music, and meditation, to create a more balanced and fulfilling life. These practices offer not only spiritual enrichment, but also a reminder of the deep, timeless knowledge that is embedded in our cultures. One practical way to unlock ancestral wisdom is through storytelling. In many African traditions, stories have been passed down through generations, teaching lessons about resilience, morality, community, and harmony with nature. By engaging with these stories, individuals can tap into the collective wisdom of their ancestors. Storytelling helps to connect the past with the present, offering insights into life's challenges and providing guidance on how to navigate them. Another powerful tool for reconnecting with ancestral wisdom is seeking guidance from elders. Elders are the living repositories of knowledge, and their insights into family history, cultural traditions, and spiritual practices offer invaluable perspectives. Spending time with elders and learning from their experiences is a way to ensure that the lessons of the past are not lost. Participating in cultural rituals such as community ceremonies, healing rituals, or rites of passage can also help individuals reconnect with their heritage. These rituals provide a spiritual anchor and allow people to experience the transformative power of ancestral wisdom firsthand. Ancestral wisdom also plays a critical role in healing. Many individuals are using the principles of ancestral teachings to heal from past trauma, whether it's personal, communal, or generational. By honoring ancestors and engaging in spiritual practices rooted in these traditions, individuals can release negative emotions, break destructive patterns, and create space for healing. This healing process goes beyond the individual. It extends to the community, creating stronger bonds and a sense of unity. In African cultures, the belief that the well-being of the individual is interconnected with the health of the community remains central. By returning to these values, individuals can empower themselves to foster positive change in their lives and their communities. Ancestral wisdom, in this sense, becomes a tool for personal empowerment, helping individuals tap into their inner strength, reclaim their sense of purpose, and contribute to the collective good. As we reflect on the rich legacy of ancestral wisdom, it becomes clear that these teachings are not confined to the past. They are living, breathing practices that continue to offer guidance, healing, and empowerment in the modern world. In a time when many feel disconnected from their roots, the wisdom of African ancestors provides a grounding force that helps us navigate the complexities of contemporary life. From the rituals that connect us to the spiritual realm, to the communal values that emphasize unity, respect, and collective responsibility, Ancestral wisdom offers a profound pathway to healing, personal growth, and social cohesion. As we embrace this wisdom, we are not simply honoring our ancestors. We are actively engaging with the timeless truths they passed down. By participating in rituals, seeking guidance from elders, and immersing ourselves in the cultural practices that have sustained generations, we can tap into the deep reservoir of knowledge that lies within our own histories. This reconnection to our roots is not only a means of preserving the past, but a vital tool for shaping a more harmonious future. So, whether you're seeking healing, guidance, or a deeper sense of purpose, the wisdom of your ancestors is there, waiting to be unlocked. It is a wisdom that transcends time and space, offering insights that are as relevant today as they were centuries ago. By remembering our roots, we can create stronger communities, heal past traumas, and empower ourselves to live more consciously and purposefully in the present. Thank you for joining us on this journey to rediscover the hidden wisdom of our African ancestors. May their teachings continue to inspire and guide you as you walk your own path, rooted in the strength and wisdom of those who came before.